Hello friends, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, my name is Kate. Today I wanted to kind of get started on my fall project plans. I just posted a video on all of my fall project plans that I want to do in these next couple months. While it's starting to get a little chilly out, I wanted to start off with a pretty simple project, so I think I'm going to make a tiered maxi skirt in a plaid pattern if I can find plaid fabric. That's the kicker. I am going to go to the scrap exchange right now to see what they have for plaid fabrics. So let's go see what we can find. Okay guys, I have good news and bad news. We'll do the bad news first. I was looking for plaid fabric and I couldn't find any that was like enough, because for tiered skirts you need a lot of fabric. But that led me into the scrap bin and I found a ton of scraps of these kind of similar patterned plaid fabrics. They're like slightly different, but they all kind of have the same like color scheme going on. So I think what we're gonna do now is we're gonna make a patchwork skirt. And I've never made anything patchwork before, but I think this will be a little bit more exciting than just making a regular tiered skirt. So that's what we're gonna do. I think I'll have enough. I also found this fabric that I really liked. I don't think I'm gonna use it in the skirt, but I think I'll make another maybe like midi skirt. I think it'll be enough for a midi skirt. It's a nice fall kind of vibe. Let's just get started basically making all of these scraps into usable pieces of fabric that are the right length. I feel like that's gonna be the hardest part. It's gonna be the most time consuming because a lot of these are cut just like raw edges from the scraps. And it's kind of funny because I just took all of my scraps to the scrap exchange and then I went and bought more scraps, but it's Fabric Friday, so I got half off of my fill a bag. So pretty much all of this was $1.50. Let's get started prepping all this fabric. Now I'm doing all of the measurements for my tiered skirt. There's a lot of different resources online to kind of measure how to cut out the rectangles for a tiered skirt. So the first measurement I took was from my waist to how long I want this skirt to be, and that's around 30 inches including the seam allowance. I think for this skirt I'm only going to do 3 tiers. Then I measured my hips, multiplied that by 1.3, and then each tier you multiply that number by 1.3, and that'll allow enough room to gather and stuff. So that's kind of my measurements for the skirt. And then I just cut out basically an 11 by 11 square. So the goal is to have around 10-inch tiers. So I cut this 11 by 11 square just to account for a little bit of seam allowance. So I'm going to use this template to cut out all of my squares from the plaid. I'm a little bit worried because there are definitely some pieces that are smaller, but we're going to make it work. I feel like that's the point of the patchwork. It's to be patchy. It's not going to be perfect. And then I'm going to kind of rearrange the plaids to how I want it to be in the skirt. Cut out all my pieces. I don't know if this is gonna be enough. I realized how thin this fabric is, so I might have to do like a lining. It doesn't feel like a lot, but we'll see. According to my measurements, I should have enough plus a little bit, but I might have to cut a few more squares. I mean, I have a ton of fabric left. These are just kind of like not as square, so they're kind of harder to cut out. I'm gonna do all of this in my serger anyways. So I'm gonna lay everything out and kind of have like alternating patterns because these are all slightly different colors. I just organized them into the different plaids, so I can just like pick one from each pile and like lay them all out together. Okay, that actually went a lot faster than I thought it was going to. This is kind of the layout of the skirt so far. I think the squares didn't always line up with the width that I want the tiers to be, so that was adjusted a little bit, but I don't think it's gonna make that big of a difference because we're gonna be gathering it anyways, so it's not like it's form-fitting or anything. We're just gonna go with that. So I'm just gonna start patching the rectangles. Obviously, we're just gonna do the top, the middle, and then the bottom, and then I'm gonna attach the long rectangles together and do like the gathering and stuff there. Next step is to serge all of these squares together. Okay, so far I've connected all of the squares. I'm loving how it's looking so far. Now it's time to gather the tier. So the first tier I'm not going to do anything with. The second tier I'm just going to do 2 lines of basting stitches and then do the gathers from there, and then basically make it so it's the same circumference as this top piece, and then I'm going to sew those 2 together, overlock, and then do the same thing for the bottom piece. So I am going to overlock all of the edges before I do any of the gathering. So I'm going to do that now. I have a lot of jagged edges just because of like a lot of it was cut imperfectly, obviously, since it's scrap. So this will kind of like even everything out. Okay, so everything is now serged up. I'm gonna quit for today just because my serger is so noisy and I feel bad for my neighbors. But I mean, there's a train going by, so can't be silent. I do also need a break, but I think we made really good progress today. This is actually going way faster than I thought. The only thing that I think is going to take longer is I'm going to have to add a lining, I'm pretty sure, because this is like very, very thin fabric. So I'm going to have to figure out how I'm going to do that. But other than that, I'm excited for the gathering. I guess I'll see you guys tomorrow to continue the skirt. Good morning. I haven't done anything since I last talked to you guys, and I was getting a little bit worried that it was going to be too short, but I compared it to 2 skirts that I really like. This one, kind of like the length that I'm going for, it's a little bit more of like a midi skirt, and I think it's going to be perfect. So I have all of my tiers together, so I think I'm just gonna start doing my gathers and then attaching the tiers together. Okay, I have my sewing machine out now. I wish I had a bigger desk so I could fit these like nicely next to each other. One thing I was wondering is there's a lot of different colors in this skirt, so how do you choose like your thread color? I don't even know what color thread to choose, and I almost just want to use this because it's already in here and I'm feeling lazy. It kind of matches. The sewing machine is significantly easier to thread than a serger, and I'm so grateful for that. I'm gonna start with the middle tier, and I'm just gonna do 2 rows of basting stitches. So that's me just like pretty much just putting this on the largest stitch length. So I'm gonna do 2 rows of basting stitches just right underneath where I overlocked it. Start working on attaching my tiers, and I want to like offset, like this is more of like a blue plaid, this is more of a pink plaid, and then the purple one. So I want to offset it so it's like blue, purple, pink, and kind of, if you know what I mean. I did all the gathers, so I'm going to start pinning it into place. I think I'm just going to do right sides together, pin it, and then sew normally in between my basting stitches, and then I'll take those out, and then it should be gathered. It's not going to be too gathered. First tier is done. I'm gonna do the second one, but I want to try it on. It's a little bit less gathered than I thought it was gonna be. That's okay. I don't want it to be like too full. I don't like skirts that are like really, really full. At least like that's not what my plan was for this one. And then I also need to add the elastic, so it's gonna be like more bunched up. It's kind of what it's looking like right now. So this will be cinched up a bit more, but yeah, I'm really excited. Try to get the gathers done. I do have to go to work soon, so I'm gonna try to get the second gathers done and hopefully attach and get that done before I have to go to work. The third tier is officially done. I did the gathering pretty quickly, and this is how it looks. Now all I really have to do is hem it and then add the elastic. It is a very thin fabric, so I think I would really regret it if I didn't add the lining. I can always add it later, but I'd rather just like do it now. So I have 2 fabrics that I'm thinking of using. This is really just like a plain, some synthetic fabric, but this is like a cotton. Oh, and it has black cats on it, I guess. This is from the Scrap Exchange. I didn't know that was there. I think I'm gonna stick with this one. I just hemmed the skirt. I did like maybe a 1/4 inch hem, so now I think I'm gonna add the lining. I'm gonna do it with that more sheer fabric that I was showing you guys yesterday. I'm not sure if I should like do some gathering on the lining or just put it in the casing with the elastic and then it'll kind of like shrink up itself just naturally. I might try that first and see how it works out and just make it the same circumference as this top part and then just kind of like sandwich it in there. That would work best, maybe. I don't know, guys, we're just winging it here, but that is my plan for now. I just cut out this little lining piece. I cut it like way shorter because it felt a little restricting on my legs, and I really only need it to cover like where my underwear would be. And then I want the rest of the skirt to be like still flowy. So it is like pretty short, but what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna serge around the edges. I'm gonna serge the hem. I'm feeling a little bit lazy, so I might not like do a fold over hem. I might literally just leave it serged because it's just a lining and then serge the top together. So I was gonna serge these together and then do the fold over for the waistband, but I feel like I can kind of skip that step because it's gonna be like encased anyways. So I think I'm just gonna move on to like hemming it. I'm still gonna pin everything like super well. I'll probably do like an inch waistband or so, and everything should be like encased in that waistband, so I think I'm just gonna do that. Okay, I just sewed the channel. Now I'm going to feed my elastic through. My favorite way to put an elastic is putting a safety pin in and then just feeding it through. I left like a little bit of a gap so I could fit it in there, and now I'm just gonna put the elastic in. Okay guys, I finished the skirt. I'm gonna be honest, not my best work. Like, it's pretty messy, but when it's on it looks great. Like, I think it'll do. But one last step is I wanted to add my label. I have these labels. I got them so long ago to put in my knitwear. I just always forget to do it, and they're so expensive to buy in like such a small quantity. I think the company is Dutch Label Shop, and they did a great job. I love the labels, but I only ordered a small quantity because I was kind of testing it out, but I always forget to use them. So I want to start putting them on my finished garments. Instead of putting it on the inside, I kind of wanted to put it on the outside. So it's pretty popular to have like in the center, but honestly I feel like that kind of gives boxer shorts in a way. I don't like that vibe. I was thinking I wanted to put it kind of on the bottom here, just like really subtle, like right at the hem, just because then it's like, ooh, what is that, you know? It's not just like in your face like it would be if it was just right there. So okay, I'm gonna sew my label in really quick and then we'll be done. It's officially done. I'm obsessed. Let me show you. I love the way this skirt turned out. It's so me. I love the plaid. I love how like typically plaids are like more neutral colors, and this one is a little bit brighter. So I'm really into that, especially for fall, because I feel like we start leaning towards more neutral colors, but it is always exciting to have like something with a little bit of color in it that you can match with different neutrals. And I was just so surprised that I was able to make this from scraps that I found at the thrift store. I am very lucky. I live near a creative reuse center that has a lot of scrap fabric and stuff like that, so I thrift a lot of my fabric. If you can find a creative reuse center near you, definitely check it out. I feel like it's so worth it to see what they have, like different fabrics and stuff. But yeah, I just can't believe that I made this from like patches. I feel like it opens up so many doors to doing other patchwork projects with scrap fabric, but I did want to like document this skirt because it was something that was on my fall project plan. So I do want to make like a little series of me making those things that I was talking about in that video, or maybe I'll do some like together in a video or just like a vlog or something like that. Let me know what you guys think about that, if you want like multiple projects in one video or just like one video dedicated to each project. I'm just getting really pumped for fall, you guys. Now that I'm starting to like chip away at my fall project plans, we're like in the full swing of things, especially because it is finally actually getting like cold. Like, it was cold this morning. Let me know any other videos you want to see. Follow me on Instagram. I post little sneak peeks of projects on there, so if you guys want to follow me, it's at minigru.studios. Comment down below maybe something you're looking forward to making this fall. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you give it a like, make sure you subscribe. Also, turn on notifications so you know when I post. I haven't been super consistent with the day that I've been posting. I want to have like an official posting day. I'm just like testing different things out. So I hope you have a great day, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.